Today we have a very long and an interesting episode of how you can crush any of the selling strategy for your business. Doesn't matter whether you do have a brick and mortar startup or you're running an IT hub or even you are running a B2B or a B2C business, but using these strategies you can redefine the success of your selling strategies and you can overcome any of the ad spend and your return on ad spend with a justified and measurable outcome. So come, let us find out more in detail.
Are you a business owner trying to get your startup to the next level, or are you a salesman in a like working for a company, but you are struggling with sales every week? You are struggling to get to hit your targets every week. There are actually a million things that you are doing fundamentally wrong and which might be inhibiting you to get your sales, or let's say to grow your business to a next level. Today I'm going to talk about the right mindset and the right workflow that is not going to help you to sell better, grow your company, but also will help you to crush any competition that you might have in your industry, in your business strategy, or even in your life. So myself Subhajit Ghosh, I am from Thatware, and welcome to this video where we will talk about the life-changing techniques and success strategies that will help you to be successful in almost anything that you pursue in life. So let's start with this venture. So I will be talking from the respect of a business owner, but you can apply these strategies for anything. If you are doing a job, if you are in the back office, if you are a YouTuber, if you are a salesman, you can apply these principles in virtually anything. So let's get started. First of all, if you are an entrepreneur, you have to understand one thing. It doesn't matter you are in the real estate business, you are in the pharmaceutical business, you are in the automobile business. You have to understand that your number one job in your company is to sell. So the role of a business owner or a CEO is always to be sell your products and services, to make sure that the number of customers, the sales revenue is growing every month, every year, because the thing that makes a company run is the cash flow. If your cash flow is not there, no matter how good your product is, no matter how unique your your business idea is, your business is not going to grow, because there's so much competition, there's so much services, there's so much products in the industry. It no longer matters how unique your product is, but how well it is being marketed and sold in the industry. So that is where you have to understand your priorities, your number one task as a business owner. And remember, you have 24 hours in a day. Your number one priority task is only to sell and sell and sell. Sell your products to your community, to your market, market your brand, market your products everywhere. Now, a second thing that I'm going to tell about is to maximize your per hour earnings, and this is something that I will elaborate. That is, you have to determine how much money are you making per hour, and that is actually quite simple, which I will discuss later. But let's come to the third thing, and that is to understand the right mindset or the right work ethic that is going to bring success in your life. So that is, you have to understand that you have only 24 hours in your day. That is something that you cannot change. So you have to make sure that you prioritize your tasks to the most important things that matter for your business, and to delegate the rest of the tasks to your team members or to your other selves that are important, but does not contribute to the actual impact on your business. The fourth thing is, every one of us has a little devil inside of us. So the fourth point comes to the fact of killing that little devil that goes inside of us. So these are the four strategies or the four things that you have to set in mind before starting a business. Now let's go over each one of them. So let's talk about the the first point, and that is to understand and prioritize all activities that has 80% impact on your business, and that is to sell. So basically, if you are a business owner, or let's say you are a salesman or a marketing person, you have to you have to identify all the tasks that you do in a particular day. Let's say if I am a marketing person, my daily task includes checking mails, writing ad copies, giving out strategies to team members, making sure that everybody is doing their work. Is also part of the of my job. Handling client calls, sending proposals, and there are a bunch of other works that I actually do. But if I make a list of them, actually there are almost 50 different tasks that I do in that I can do in a particular single day. Now I have to understand, out of those 50 tasks, what are the particular type of tasks that actually impacts my result on the business, or let's say it directly impacts my growth in the company, or let's say the growth of my company. So in this regard, I would say that sending proposals, handling client calls, or let's say writing ad copies, running ads, or let's say doing PR. These are the 5 activities that brings about all the result in my career, or let's say if I'm a business owner, these are the 5 activities that actually contributes to the growth of my company. So my so now that I have identified the 5 activities that actually impacts my growth, this is now the time to actually prioritize on those activities and delegate the rest. So if I'm a business owner and I know that I will spend my entire day, or let's say 80% of my day, writing ad copies, perfecting those the ad copies that go actually out in my marketing strategies. I will spend my day having client calls, scheduling them, personally attending those client calls, making sure that each and every client is satisfied. Or let's say there's a principle called the Pareto principle, in which we have already created a video. I put a link in the description, in which we identify the 20% of the clients that actually bring 80% of our revenue. So I will spend more time perfecting my pitch for those clients. So that is something that I will do. I will be more I will prioritize in sending out proposals, perfecting my outreach strategy, doing PR. So this is something that I'll do. And there are other things like checking mails, assigning tasks to team members, office management, other types of tasks which are actually more into day-to-day management and doesn't really affects the growth of my company, or directly affects the growth of revenue. That is something that I'll delegate to the team members. That is something that doesn't need my, so whichever things that doesn't need my direct attention, or can be done by somebody else, can be delegated to the team members or some other else. So what happens is that I am not ignoring those tasks. Those tasks are being done, but I am focusing on what really matters, and that is how I optimize my timing, and that is how I make sure that I am giving I am doing what I want to do and what I think that I can do the best. And the third thing is that these are the tasks that actually bring growth to my company. So I am actually spending 80% of the time working on things that actually matter for my company, or let's say the growth of myself as an individual if I am a job if I'm doing a job in my company. Now let's talk about the second point, and that is to maximize the earnings per hour that I get. So in order to do that, first you have to understand what is your earnings per hour. So it's actually very simple. You have to basically understand how much money you actually make in a particular month. Everyone knows that. And now you have to understand the total number of the total amount of money you make every week. So basically you divide it by 4, and now you have to understand how many hours you actually work in a week. So let's say a person works for 40 hours in a week, and let's say he makes around $25,000 in a particular week. So basically he's if you divide that by the number of hours, so basically he makes around $14 to $13 per hour, which is actually a good number. So this is how you determine the number of hours, the number of earnings per hour that you make. Now let's say You know that you are making $14 per hour. Now your goal should be to maximize that. And how would you do that? Let's say in the 8 hours that you spend in office and let's say in home, you actually spend 2 hours cleaning your house, doing household chores. You might spend 1 hour with your child, or let's say in his education, or let's say you are like spending time like doing Netflix or other activities, or playing games, or let's say you are also spending 1 hour to talk with some vendors or maybe some office management. So you can actually what you can do is that you can delegate these activities to someone else. Let's say let's come to household chores. If you're actually earning $14 per hour, you can that amounts to a lot of money in a month, right? So if you're earning $14 per hour, that into 30 days goes to around $420. So if I have that much, so I can actually spend give $30 or $40 per month and hire a caretaker to manage my household chores. So actually I am by giving $40, I am actually saving those hours, those 1 or 2 hours that I spend in my home doing household chores. So basically what happens, I can actually transform those 2 hours that I spend on productive tasks and actually increase my actual working hours. So instead of working 8 hours per day, I can actually work 10 hours per day, and that would actually increase my income. So $14. So I hope you understand how you are going to maximize your earnings per hour. That is by identifying the time you spend on doing non-productive activities and delegate those to other people by hiring them or by some other tactics, and actually maximizing your work hour or the amount of time that you actually work, which brings you earnings. So a third points come to about developing a success work ethic, and this is something that I have extensively covered in a separate video, and I will put the link in description below. But I will explain this very short in a simple example. Let's say let's talk about a simple office going guy. What does he do? What does he do? He wakes up at 8 a.m. right? He goes to the office by 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and then by the time he's being stable, waiting for chai, so actually he starts his real deep work around 11 a.m. and in 1 p.m. it's lunchtime. So basically 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. he actually works he is in deep work. So that's 2 hours, and keep a count of the actual time he's working. It will be useful. So he's actually working from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. is lunch hour. So after 2 p.m. he returns, right? And he might be having a lot of notifications in his project management system or his emails. So up to 2:30 p.m. he will be checking his emails, right? So after 2:30 p.m. he will be again engaged in after 2:30 p.m. he might be again engaged in deep work, and then he gets a notification that 3 p.m. there's a call with a client. Then then he engages in that call with that client, and by that time it's already 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So then if he's a manager, or if he's an entrepreneur, he also has some office management tasks that he has to do. So he may be engaged in checking further mails, sending writing proposals, and also assigning tasks to the team members. So checking what other people are doing. So from 4 p.m. he might be engaged in assigning tasks, seeing how the employees are performing, what is the performance rates, and how the accounting balance, or how the days, checking balance sheets. So by 4 p.m. he will be up and going till 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. he will be engaged in all these tasks. And after 5:30 p.m. it's already late, and 6 p.m. it's office close, it's time to go home, right? So actually what is the amount of time he actually worked? He actually worked for 2 hours in the morning, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. After that, around 2:30 to 4 he worked, because he was attending client calls and he was also engaged in other activities. Then after 4 p.m. he was actually engaged in management activities, which are not actually part of deep work or something that actually matters for the company, right? So actually for the entire day, even though the work hours is 8 hours, he actually worked for 4 hours. Now let's compare to a separate individual or a person who is highly successful. I call this the success work ethic. So now let's talk about a different person. So this person wakes up in 4 a.m. in the morning, attends the gym, listening to an audiobook or a podcast about his niche, about how he can perfect his own skills. So he's actually learning while he's also traveling to his gym. In the gym, he spends 1.5 hours exercising and also attending a sauna session. So his mind is completely afresh, his body is energized fully, and also and also does a full bath steam bath. He has a he has a small breakfast and he attends office by 7 a.m. in the morning. From 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. He is actually engaged in deep work. So he there is no one in the office, or maybe if he's a business owner, he can do that. No, he can attend the office early. There's no one in the office. He's engaged in deep work. There's nobody to distract him or delay him. At 9:30 a.m. he has a packed breakfast. He brings his lunch with him, so there's no problem. He has a packed breakfast. His energy is completely full, and by 10 a.m. he's again engaged in deep work. Then from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. he's again engaged in deep work. There is no other distractions, and in 1 p.m. It's now lunchtime. During lunchtime he again has a packed lunch and simply turns off his mind. So for 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. he simply turns off his mind. He puts his phone on do not disturb, and he has a good sound sleep. So basically this is the time when his mind refreshes, all his adenosine diphosphate transfers to ATP, and his mind he basically energizes his mind for the next phase of the day, that is the second half. Now it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and now he has to attend to some he opens his emails to check what are the emails that have come into his inboxes. He checks the notifications in his project management system. He checks out if there is any emails from clients or other important people in whoever there is in the office, and he spends a full hour, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. in sending out replies, sending out proposals, and doing client meetings if there are any. From 3 p.m. onwards he's again engaged in deep work. So like I said, if I'm a business owner, my deep work, my activities would be to write ad copies, to set out client proposals, to perfect my pitch, and also to do PR and marketing activities for my company. So that is something that I would do. You may have other other tasks that would be crucial to you for your job role or for your niche. For as a business owner or a salesperson, these are the activities that you might be able to do. So when I say deep work, he is engaging in those activities which he has shortlisted as the most important activities that actually impacts his growth in the company, or let's say if he is a business owner, that impacts the direct growth of the company itself. Now it's already 5 p.m. and he's now and if he's a business owner, he has to check on the activities of his fellow employees. He checks the balance sheets of the company, and by 5:30 a.m. he's already gone out of the office to beat the traffic. So you see how much time he has actually worked for. He wakes up 4 a.m. in the morning, starts working from 7 a.m. So for 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. that's around 2.5 hours. From 10:30 again he works to till 1 p.m. That's around another 2.5 hours. So 5 hours he has spent in the morning, 5 good hours in deep work. Then from 3 p.m. to 5 a.m. he again engages himself in deep work. So that's a solid 8 hours of work, no distractions. He spends 8 hours in his day completely on the task that he has already shortlisted as the most important task that he needs to do for his own personal growth or for the growth of his agency or to fulfill his desires. That is exactly what I mean to say as time management. You can call it time management, you can call it, being to develop a success mindset or a success work ethic. This is what you need to do. And many people say that you should not wake up too early in the morning, it disturbs your sleep cycle. But the thing is that he is not actually going home late, right? He is actually going home before the other person. Remember, the other person leaves at 6 p.m. in the when the office closes, but this person is actually he's actually leaving office at 5:30 p.m. He's not only completing his task, but he's actually but he's also leaving early than the other person who is actually working less. So that is what I mean by success work ethic. Now let's come to the fourth point, and it is actually very interesting, and this is being faced by all the individuals in the society, and that is to kill the little devil that taunting in your head. Sit down a little bit, scroll through your Instagram, scroll through your Facebook, check what other people are saying. You have done enough for the day. You have already worked too much hard. Let's lie down a little bit. Let's have a little bit of rest. This is the little devil that haunts each and every person in the head. You can say that it is the person in your head which constantly nudges you to lie down a little bit and waste some time to procrastinate. Procrastination is a serious issue that is being faced by the young generation of of today, and this is basically simply to waste time in activities that are not productive enough. And this is something you have to understand. It's more of a very serious issue, and if you want to be successful in life, you have to understand to prioritize your work, as I said. So you have to kill the little devil inside. You have to tell me that no, I cannot waste time. I have already set my schedule of the day. I have enough time for my entertainment, and when it's time to work, I will work. Because you have to understand, that your earnings per hour. That if you interfere with that, if you interfere with the hours you are working, you're not only reducing your working hours, but you are keeping money out in the table. So basically you are losing money for each and every hour you waste in procrastination or in other activities. So remember one thing: each time that little devil tells in your head that to stop working, to procrastinate, to basically go to Facebook and see what other people are posting, you have to answer the little devil that no, I have my working hours set out, and if I lose hours, if I waste time, I will lose money that you will not give me. I will have to earn myself. That is how you have to answer to that little devil, kill that little devil itself, and make sure that you feel motivated to work to your full potential and be successful, be different from all the other peoples in your immediate surroundings. Now that we have established the basics of entrepreneurship and the right mindset that you need to do while to be successful in life, now let's talk about how do you actually crush your competition and how do you develop a sales generating machine that can basically skyrocket your business growth up to infinity. So these activities are actually divided into 7 steps or let's say 7 phases. So we are going to talk about each phase one by one. Let's talk about the first phase of creating a groundbreaking selling strategy, and that is, for any business to work, you have to understand your target customer. Know thy customer. That is being taught all around during your MBA, or if you are taking any marketing course. That is the first thing that you have to do, and that is to know thy customer. And there are actually 5 steps of doing it, 5 very easy steps, and I'm going to talk about them briefly so that you can understand how to follow those exact steps to help you better understand to know your customers very well. So the first point comes into understanding your customers' biggest pain points, and that is basically what are the most biggest pain point or the problems and troubles your customers are facing. Let's say, so on the perspective of an SEO company, I can say that the biggest troubles that our customers, or let's say our ideal target customers, are facing in the market is basically finding a reliable SEO company who can give them rankings very fast. That is number one, because everyone knows that SEO takes time, but how much time? That is something that always goes in the back on the head of our customers, and that is something we have to keep in mind. The second thing that comes in our customer's mind is to understand how much money and how fast money can I generate out of SEO efforts. You have to understand SEO. The purpose of SEO is to bring rankings in Google, but then again some customers don't understand that whether ranking in Google will give them enough sales revenue to justify their cost or the SEO cost that they have to incur. So that is a second pain point that we have to ensure. Apart from that, there are other pain points like the amount of resources that it would take, like what are the actual activities that are going on and how well does it actually help, like how much time frame are we talking about. So these are the things. So basically like I am talking about SEO, you might have other other customer pain points for other niches. So basically you have, like if you are a business owner, you know your customers best, you know your business best. That's why you are the perfect person, like the perfect person to tell what are the biggest pain points faced by your target customers. If you are not a business owner, I would recommend that you talk you talk to the sales people in your company, to the marketing people in your company, because they already should have a buyer persona, or since they are already talking with people, talking with customers, they might have a good understanding of what are the problems they usually face. If you are it would be a very good idea to talk to your business owner itself. He can give you a bunch of insights. So that is something that you have to take care of. The next thing comes to trying to find out where your customers hang out, and this is actually very important. Your customer might hang out in Facebook groups, your customers might hang out in Instagram, your customers might be hanging out like they might not be even in the internet, they might be reading newspapers, or maybe watching television. So you have to understand the daily set of activities that your ideal customer, your target customer actually carries on. And actually you have to understand first of all you have to understand who your target customers is. So there is a principle called as Pareto principle, which we have already talked about in the video, and this actually applies to customers as well. Out of the 80%, it basically tells that out of all the customers that you are currently serving in your organization, only 4% of 20% of those customers bring about 80% of your revenue. And even the Pareto principle, this 80-20 rule that we're talking about, it works for those 20% customers as well. So the 20% of that 20% of your customers bring 80% of all 64% of all the revenue in your company. So that basically comes down to 4% of the entire customer that you are serving right now. Those 4% of customers bring about 64% of entire revenue in your company. What you have to do is that you have to drill down and really understand the day-to-day activities of that 4% of customers. You have to understand what they how, when they wake up in the morning, when do they work, when do they rest, when do they recreate. Even if they recreate, how do they recreate, where do they hang out, where are the places they are actually spending their time. Either they are in the internet, or they are reading newspapers, or either they are traveling. What are they doing? Because by understanding how they spend their time, you can actually understand how to market to them, in which channels are actually best for you to reach your target customers. And that actually brings me to the fourth idea, and that is to understand how to best communicate with your target customers. So after you have understood where your customers hang out, it comes to you naturally that how to communicate with them. If your customers hang out in Facebook groups, obviously you will be engaged more into Facebook groups. You will be commenting on people's posts, you will be making connections, you will be sending out DMs and whatsoever. If your customer hangouts in groups like Reddit, Quora, you will be spending time over there. So that is that comes naturally from the previous point, as I discussed. Once you understand where your customers are hanging out, you can actually understand the channels through which you can market to them, you can reach out to them, and you can create meaningful connections with your target customers. So now, after discussing these 4 points, I have actually created a very good template for you. If you can see in the screen, Like if you can see in the screen, this is a good target template you can use to find your great customers. Like I have divided the entire table into three major areas where you can write down the specific points like about your target customers, and at the end of the day this table will serve as a template of the most ideal customer in your company, which can be used by your entire organization as a guideline for marketing, for approaching your customer channels. Now that we have understood our target customer, we have completed the phase 1 of creating the perfect selling machine, and now let's move on to phase 2, which is to attract those customers. How do you attract them? And like before attracting them, I would say that these are the these are the sources by which you can actually learn more about your customers and do an effective market research. So these are the 5 sources that I have listed in the screen, from which you can actually do market research and understand more about your customers. So it will be of great help to you. It has been for me. Now to attract your customers, you have to create a very good lead magnet, or let's say an offer, a content offer that they can, like an offer that they cannot refuse. So basically it can be a content offer, it can be a book, it can be a service. Basically it's something that you have to give away either for free or a very hefty amount of discount. It is a value that you have to give at a cost that is which is nothing compared to out of there in the competition. So before promoting your offer, after you have created this offer, you have to understand how to you have to understand how to market it. So I will be talking in the perspective of an ad. So before writing an ad, what we do is that before creating any offer, we focus on the headline. So you have to create a headline that dilates the pupil of your target customer, and that is by saying that it basically grabs the attention within the first minute. So I'll give you a simple example, let's say there's an ad which talks about the 12 copywriting techniques that bring success. Instead of writing this generic title, you can talk about the 12 let's say the headline looks like the 12 money laundering copywriting mistakes that can bring your business down. This is something this is a title or a headline that actually tells you that okay, these are the tactics that I should actually avoid, which brought an entire business down. That actually dilates the pupil of the customers, or let's say that actually immediately grabs the attention instead of a generic title like 12 money laundering mistakes, right? So basically it's all about understanding your pain points, and that is actually why your understanding the customer, understanding their darkest their desires and pain points comes into the picture. Once you know what they care about, you can actually incorporate them in your headline and make sure that your headline exactly targets that particular issue that your customers care about. And that is how you actually craft a very good headline that actually grabs your person's attention. Having said that, here are some of the particular lead magnets that I have already talked about. So here are different kinds of lead magnets that I have told you, which can be relevant for your business and which can be used as a good initial content offer that can attract your audience. And these are some things that are not actually very costly to produce. You can produce it for one time, and some of these things like trailers and video courses do take a one-time investment. But for a business to set up, if you creating something that can bring in huge amount of revenue for years to come is, I think, I believe is a worthy investment, and perhaps that you something too. So these are the type of content offers you can actually create for your selling strategy, and it might be beneficial for your business. Now that you have attracted your audience, it's now let's come to phase 3 of creating your selling machine, and that is to capture your audience's lead, to capture your target, your audience contact information, and to basically grow your own business audience. And that is something that you do by creating a landing page. And this is basically what a landing page looks like. It basically contains a headline that grabs your audience attention. It contains of a subheading which touches all the most crucial pain points that actually your target audience care about, and that what are the solutions that can bandage those pain points. So, and basically in the last portion you specifically there's a compelling offer that is very difficult to refuse. That is what an anatomy of a landing page looks like. A headline that grabs attention, a subheading that touches all the pain points, and a highly compelling offer that is so difficult to refuse that basically 90% of your people will be too foolish to refuse it. Having said that, these are some of the great opt-in pages that have actually brought huge tons of revenue for certain organizations, so you can check them out. I have put the examples of 3 such landing pages that you can use for as templates for your business, and you can create your own models as well. There are hundreds of landing pages that are there in the internet. The best way for your business, I would suggest, is to study the landing pages of the most successful competitors, maybe the competitors that are running ads right now, or maybe the competitors that are actually ranking in the first page of Google, or who are basically leading your market, leading your market right now. So if you're a new business owner, you should always learn from the best, and you already know from me what is the anatomy of a perfect landing page. Having said that, I want to talk about the last portion of the landing page, and that is to create a compelling offer. Now, in order to create a compelling offer, you have to keep 3 things in mind, and that is you have to study your product or the solution that you are making. So let's say there's a 90% chance that whatever product or offer you are making, already somebody else it is already there in the market, or let's say there's another company or another agency who is also offering similar solutions. So you have to understand your competition and what are the types of solutions that they are providing, and most importantly what they are not providing. So you have to actually make a jot down of all these points. I've actually shared a very good template that I can personally use to basically highlight the features of the products of my competitors, what do they have and what do they lack, right? And this is also a place where your customer pain points, or let's say the customer study that you have done, will come into the picture, because by directly cross-referencing your study with the customer, with your buyer persona, you can understand the features that your competitors lack that you can provide in your offer. So that is so studying your product is actually one of the biggest points by which you need to tick before you can create a compelling offer. Now next is creating a power guarantee. So a power guarantee is something like a guarantee, like a solution that will definitely work, that will entice the customer to take your service, and something that is not provided in the in your industry or in the market. So let's say for SEO, I can give a power guarantee like get ranked in the first page in Google within 3 months, or get your money back. So that is something highly compelling for any business owner who is acquainted with SEO agencies, right? Because SEO, everybody knows SEO takes time. Everybody knows SEO might take 6 months, 1 year even. It is even taught in most SEO academies or training institutes. But actually what we are offering in this headline is guaranteed rankings in 3 months, or get your money back. That definitely stands out of the competition, and tells to the customer that, okay, I have been seeing these ads which tells me that I will be providing SEO services, best SEO services, but then again I see an ad that tells I will be getting ranking in just 3 months, or they will put my money back just there. So that is what I call a power guarantee. Of course, before giving such a guarantee, you have to make sure that you can provide such services, and make sure that your product or your particular that you are actually able to fulfill that. Otherwise you will simply be losing money. But if you can actually provide that, if you can if you do value your customers and actually provide that level of service, you should be definitely doing that. It is a great way to attract the customers, to make sure that whatever ad campaign you are running gets the most amount of attention. The third point that I want to touch about is FOMO, or fear of missing out. So basically it's like if you have gone into an ad marketplace, or let's say if you have visited any good landing page, then you might have seen that, get this offer right now, it expires within the next 24 hours. A good example of it will be Udemy. If you go to udemy.com, which is a learning website, then you will see that, whenever you start to buy a product, like buy a course or a service, you will see that they will reduce the price to 10% of its original price, and they will say that this price is only available for you for this particular day. It expires within 24 hours, after which it gets to the it is returned back to its original pricing. So that is actually what I talk, like fear of missing out. So if you don't actually take that service or product or course within that particular time, you will be losing out on a great offer that basically is too, like if you will be stupid if you do not take that, right? So that is something that you can actually implement in your business as well, to get more sales, get more customers. If you want to if you don't care about money, if you're in the growing phase of your business, I highly recommend using FOMO as one of your marketing strategies, because it is a great way to acquire a lot of customers and actually grow from the perspective of having more clients with you, having more customers with you. So here are the 3 points of, so let's summarize the 3 points of creating a perfect or a compelling offer. First is to study your product. Second is to create a power guarantee that is too hard to refuse. And third is to use fear of missing out, or let's say FOMO. Now that after we have created a compelling offer, a compelling landing page that can actually attract our customers, and after that we have started getting leads, we have created the initial part of our landing, of our selling machine. Now it's time to pump traffic into it, pump people into our selling machine, so that they can be converted to customers, so that they can come out as loyal customers. So like any requirement, let's say in a day, you need energy. As a human being, you need energy, you need food. You go to the food market, you go to the departmental stores to buy food, right? So exactly for a business, the business needs traffic, right? So in order to get traffic, you go to the traffic market. And who are actually the traffic market? The traffic market are sources where people actually hang out, where people actually search for your business or services. So for this, the traffic markets, for any company, I would say the biggest traffic market in the digital space is first of all Google. Then comes the social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and then comes other channels like TV, let's say newspapers, and you get the idea, right? So basically, once you have a system in place, once you know your target customers, you have a compelling offer, you have a good landing page to capture your leads. Now it's time to pump the traffic into your machine that you have created. And how do you get traffic? By purchasing them from the traffic market. So before going into the traffic market, let's talk about the 3 most important performance indicators that you have to understand. And that is to understand the customer acquisition cost, the cost per lead, which is the amount of money you are spending to get one lead, the amount of money you are spending to convert that lead into a customer, and that is called customer acquisition cost, and the customer lifetime value. Let's say you get a customer for $2, but after providing him service, after providing him a product, he buys from you again, and he buys a higher ticket product like $40. So the customer lifetime value is now $42. So basically the customer which came for $2 now gives you a value of $42, which converts. I'm giving you a very small example, but it actually for various businesses it can be thousands and hundreds of dollars, right? So that is actually what I mean by customer lifetime value. It is how well you nurture a customer to actually to actually extract more money from him, and make sure that that customer keeps on increasing value for your business. So these are the 3 KPIs, or the 3 performance indicators you have to understand before implementing any strategy of gaining more traffic from the traffic market. Now let's understand something about the traffic themselves. So there are three stages of traffic that you have to pursue while going to a traffic market, and that is first is the hot traffic. And for any business, I would say that the hot traffic are those people who already know about their problems, they already know about what kind of solutions they need to pursue, and they are just searching for the right people who can give them those solutions. And those are actually actively searching, and the best place to search is obviously Google. So Google is the channel where you will find hot customers. So in ranking for Google, you can either employ PPC, which is paid advertising, or you can do SEO. So these are the two marketing strategies by which you can actually go to the traffic market and actually target hot customers, and that is through Google. Now let's talk about the second stage of traffic, which is the warm traffic. These are the particular people who are aware of their problem, but are in the stage of actively researching for the solutions. So they know, so they don't know what are the solutions that they would really want, or even if they know, they don't know what kind of people, what kind of agencies do they, or what kind of companies do they reach out to get those solutions. These are the two types of people which fall under this category, that is the warm audience. And you can typically find this audience from Google, from Facebook, from Instagram, and from basically any other channels like newspapers, like even newspapers even. So if you are targeting, like if you are promoting your products, promoting an offer, or let's say you are in the brand awareness stage, or let's say you want to market your product, you might be comfortable in targeting these people, because it always makes sense to target warm people, because they already know their problems. You just have to push them enough to make them understand that your solution is the best possible solution for their problems. Now now let's talk about the last stage of the audience, and that is the cold traffic. Cold traffic are people who are not even aware of their problems. They might be facing a problem, but they're not aware of what kind of how is it actually impacting them. For example, let's say for a for a particular person who loves to eat, or let's say who is for a fat person, he may be very happy in his life, but he may not be aware of the problems of being fat, of being obese. So let's say you create a video regarding the top 10 health disorders of being fat or being obese. Immediately this video immediately targets that particular pain point, that and a person who might not be who is very jovial about eating, who loves to eat, might get very much depressed by seeing your video on what are the health benefits, and how does eating fast gives your destiny, reduces your lifespan. So basically you immediately converted that cold traffic into a warm traffic, and that is actually how you do it. So there are these three phases of audience that you will find in the traffic market, and this cold audience hangs out everywhere. You can find them in restaurants, you can find them in newspapers, TVs, you can find them in social media, you can find them in Google. So it's actually very easy to target cold traffic. It's harder to target warm traffic, and it's hardest to target the hot traffic, which are basically only amounts about 3% of the total total person that are there in the market. Now that we have understood something about the traffic, let's talk about the ultimate lead generation machine. So now we have understood a little bit about traffic. Let's talk about the landing page. Let's talk about the ultimate lead generation machine, and it basically consists of 4 steps. The first step consists of your ad. The second step consists of getting that contact information, that is the opt-in page. The third step consists of actually presenting your service or the solution through your landing page, that is your website. And the fourth step consists of about the sales mechanism. So after the person has actually opted in, after the customer has bought your product, it's about that final stage of conversion where either the customer pays the full amount or the customer pays for a higher ticket of service. That is the entire sales mechanism, and we'll talk about it later. So now that you have understood this basic what I can call as a sales funnel, I would say, let's talk about how to write ads in two of the most important platforms in the digital space, and that is Google and Facebook. How to write the most seducing ads in Google. So in Google, if you type for a particular type of service, like let's say I'm talking I'm searching for the best SEO services in my locality, or let's say in a particular city, I'll be seeing generic Google as topics like the best professional SEO services in my city, the best SEO services in the area. But when I'll be looking at, you have to understand that in order to stand out in your in your Google ad listing, you have to create an ad that stands out from all the other advertisements that is that is there in the marketing space. So you have to make sure that I can suggest you a headline like the best SEO, get guaranteed rankings within 3 months or get your money back. So that headline in itself creates an intrigue among your audience. Okay, this is not just a generic person, he is actually guaranteeing me rankings within 3 months, or he is going to actually give me my money back. So this is just an example of how you can create a good Google ad which stands out from the competition, which talks about the direct benefit that the customer would get, and also gives them a power guarantee, if you're not going to get results, you're going to get your money back. There are one other factor that you can actually leverage in your Google ad, and that is to use FOMO, that is fear of missing out. So you can actually give them an offer which expires within a particular type of day. Here are some of the Google ads that I have mentioned in the screen, which are actually perfect Google ads, I would say, from my sense. And there are actually loads of other Google ads. You actually get the idea that what kind of Google ads you should be creating. Now that we have wrapped up Google, let's talk about the how to create the perfect Facebook ad strategies. And actually writing Facebook ads is actually the same as writing as Google ads, but here the only other tip that I would like to give you guys is using image ad in Facebook, because there's a concept also called as native advertising. So native advertising is all about blending it with the format according to the channel. So in Facebook, images and videos posts are the normal kind of post that happens in a Facebook post. So if you create a text ad in Facebook, it won't get enough engagement. Or if you create any other type of if you create an infographic in Facebook, it won't get engagement. But if you use the native format of Facebook, like images and videos, it can get a much more engagement. The rest of the principles are similarly the same. You have to create intrigue, you have to create shock, you have to make sure that you give a compelling offer, and also use FOMO, or fear of missing out. Having said that, here are certain Facebook ad examples that I believe are very good for your businesses. But then again, let's understand another important aspect about Facebook ad, and that is to understand the anatomy of a Facebook ad. And in order to understand the anatomy of the Facebook ad, there are two things that we have to understand, and that is the intro text and the header text. I have done a study in BuzzSumo, and I have identified the number of characters that is actually used in a perfect Facebook ad or a high performing Facebook ad, and you will see that the number of words is not actually big. It's actually if you use a headline of around 40 to 30 characters, or let's say 5, 6 or 7 words, it's actually the perfect according to BuzzSumo, these are the highest performing Facebook ads. So these are some of the things that you have to keep in mind while creating Facebook ads. You have to understand what are the perfect type of ads that are actually working in the market. You can use statistics from BuzzSumo and other competitors, also other statistical companies that creates this data, and you can actually use that data and some basic marketing sense that I have just taught you to create the perfect Facebook ad that converts. So let's talk about phase 5 of our selling strategies, and that is remarketing. Remarketing, as I have already told you, as you can see, I have divided the traffic market into 3 or 4 different stages. The first one is the in-market stage, the second is the interest stage, the fourth one, as you can see, is the affinity stage, which are basically people who know about a problem but do not know about the particular solutions that they think are best for them. And the fourth and the biggest share of the traffic market is the not aware stage, or the people who are not aware of their problems. So remarketing targets people into the last two segments, that is the affinity stage and the the not aware stage. So basically, by remarketing, if you are getting a contact information who is not of a lead, who is not directly converting into a like a sales prospect, you can actually remarket them through a particular strategy, and I've actually listed a very good technique by which you can actually use a remarketing strategy to make them come back to your offer, to make them understand. So basically, what is the number one reason why a person doesn't convert? Because he is either not ready to spend money, or second is that he is not educated enough. So you can't do anything if they don't have money, but you can always do something if they don't have enough education. You can educate them. So after taking the lead, what you can do is that if they do not convert in your landing page, you can send them a variety of videos or a variety of articles through emails or some other opt-in form, like opt-in channels, through which you educate the customer to make them understand, okay, these are the your problems, and these are the solutions that actually helped other people in overcoming those problems, and living a better life. And this is actually what you do is, after they do not convert from your landing page, you send them a couple of videos in a particular time span. Let's say in a month you send them one video which talks and each video actually pushes them forward to their ultimate goal and makes them more desirous of taking your solution. So that is what remarketing works for. It's all about giving content, giving value to your already engaged leads, to bring them back to the landing page and hoping that they would convert. The sixth phase of the selling strategy is the sales call, and that is actually a place which is taken up by a marketer or a salesperson. Basically, a sales call is a 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hour consultation call that we do, or let's say it can be a consultation call, it can be a direct pitching call. But I believe there are certain points that you have to make sure while doing that sales call. First of all, you have to understand that what is the most important desire of your prospect, right? Second is, what is the final destination, what they hope to achieve by your solution, and why are they even in this sales call, why are they even spending time with you. Third is that you have to take their commitment, how committed they are in taking your service, or making sure that whatever is being whatever is expected from them, how committed they are in fulfilling those commitments or those expectations. And the fourth is your solution. So after you have understood the first 3 points, it is all about pitching your solution to them the best way possible, by understanding those above the before 3 requirements. The last and final phase is to write the prescription, or that is the exact workflow or the exact expectations that you have from the client or the customer. It can be it can be the cost of the product, it can be some information, it can be consultation. So if it is a course, you need some time from the customer, so you have to spend a certain amount of time to actually complete the course. So you have to put out the exact prescription or the exact workflow your customer have to perform in order to complete or overcome their goal. So this is all about the 5 or 6 points that you have to make and you have to understand. And if you can master these 5 points, you can actually win any sales call. Now, the 7th phase and the final phase is about marketing automation. You have created basically the selling machine is all about these 6 phases. The last thing is about marketing automation, which I'll be talking about in the next video. So stay tuned.